hello, GN. Oh my. I didn't expect we have so many friends from our FEG token community to join us today. And I also screenshot that before I started Lee's live streaming session, start our AMA Twitter space. Yeah. And we are also on Binance Live right before we started today. I saw that we already had, let me see the screenshot. We had several hundred people. Yes, we got over 430 friends. Set up your reminders to join, let's say, my sessions over here. So I believe we will have more to come, and be sure to help us to share this link across different social media platforms, because today we are very, very excited to have our FEG community friends over here, RTR and Stija. Last time we had our AMA together, it was, wow, almost a year ago. It's been a while, and I have been keep following our FEG token community and would like to hear more about the progress and also the New Year's plan as well. And once again, shout out to our FEG committee for spending time communicating and planning these AMA sessions together with me. I'm very honored to be your host today, Lucid Moonlight. And well, I know everyone already know each other, right? But I believe we also have new friends from other communities. So how about let's still from the very beginning, right? Introduce our speakers over here. Let's bring microphone to RTR. Would you like to introduce yourself and your role as the FEG community? Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope you guys can hear me all right. I'm using a different pair of headsets. So just want to do a quick mic check with you. Can you hear me all right, Moonlight?
Yeah, it's perfect. Thank you.
Okay, fantastic. So my name is RTR Crypto. I'm the Global Operations Manager for FEG Token. I started out as a community member in the community the second day that FEG Token was around. I found it in communities online, jumped in, and just couldn't leave. Started out as a voice moderator, had a talk with FegRox, our lead developer, or at Life is DeFi on Twitter. If you're not following him, please do so. And I just became heavily involved, and my role just kind of progressed through there, as many of our team members have over time. So I do a little bit of everything within the project, kind of involved in every aspect of the project. And I do all of the legal agreements and things of that nature, and contractual agreements with centralized exchanges and such of that nature. So a little bit all over the place.
This is brilliant. I didn't know that you started from like a community moderator and then all the way to grow with the FEG community. Just like me, right? I already, when I first joining Web3, I also started from as a moderator and then hosting a bunch of AMA sessions. And so glad to have the FEG community over here today. And we also have Sticha over here. Hello, Sticha GM. Would you like to introduce yourself and your role? Because I see we got new friends over here. Listen to our AMA as well. Thank you.
Hi, Moonlight, and yeah, it's a pleasure to be on your show again. I believe on your last show that was a huge smash. I did only catch like the last 5 or 10 minutes, so I'm here tonight to give you everything, give you 100% of what we're doing on FEG Token. I'm Steve Cha. I'm the FEG marketing lead. I pick up a lot of the relations stuff, you know, and fraternizing with potential partnerships and such nature. But I'm also the project uncle. I'm Uncle Cha, Uncle Steve Cha, and all my friends and brothers and sisters around the TGs and all around the world. You know, I'm affectionately known as Uncle. So it's nice to have that tag. It makes me sound a little bit older, and that's not too great. We always want that new young spirit on crypto, but yeah. I'm Uncle, so yeah, I'm Steve Cha. So yes, great, it's a pleasure to be on this show again, Moonlight. Now, yeah, RTR started as a mod, as did I. I aped into the FEG project when it was around 7 days old, and like RTR, I became thoroughly addicted, and I've never left. TG or Twitter probably since that moment that I came in, and then gradually I evolved as the team did. And became, went from hype man in the TG to doing the When Lambo video, and that kind of kick-started the marketing side of my journey with Feg Token. And it's been a crazy, topsy-turvy, wonderful, enlightening journey with, meeting so many amazing people. Yeah, and I can't wait to tell you more about marketing and what we're doing around the build-up for the SD Launchpad.
That is just brilliant. Thank you so much, Dicha. Wow, starting from when Feg was just 7 days old and then never left. That is just amazing. I also have seen that Feg FEG token has been trending on Twitter as well. So this is definitely the hottest token over here right now. And thank you so everyone for joining us. So let's jump into our discussion topic over here. We have prepared a list of about 10 discussion topics over here. And first, we would like to bring my phone and the question to RTR. What exactly is FEG Feg Token and what is its role in the ecosystem? Because the name is so cool. Feed every gorilla. Thank you.
Absolutely. I think to describe what Feg is now, we have to do a little bit of a historical lesson. As Ticha mentioned, we've been in since very early in the Feg Token project. And after he mentioned the Feg Lambo edition, I had totally forgotten about that because we're actually rounding on our 3rd year of being with Feg Token. Feg Token was launched initially on January 31st of 2021. And so this is just several days away from being year 3. And so it's been quite a journey with a number of ups and downs and a number of innovative lessons. We've really grown, I think, as a project, as a team. Many of our team members are blossoming into just amazing assets in the project and in the community, and just really understanding the space. We've learned so much over the past several years when it came to just interacting with one another, team building, community building, and from a development standpoint, user interface aspects on the development side to coding lessons that FegRox has learned through a number of trial and error things that we've been pushing and building. And so it's important to mention that we've been around for so long because Feg initially was launched, as I mentioned, on January 31st on the Feg Ethereum side and on January 12th of 2021 on Feg BSC. And when Feg was initially launched, it was an RFI token that had essentially a 2% tax and was hyperdeflationary, but had no integral or integrated tokenomic structure to help the prosperity of the token and the growth of the project as a whole. Now, over time, we've noted that it was necessary to integrate these such as tokenomic structure because of the fact that we needed to grow and we needed these funds to do various things such as centralized exchange listings, potential VC investments, attending the Dubai Crypto Expo in 2022, for example, which was tens of thousands of dollars, and the team members that went paid for their own journey there and back. And so there was so much that goes into running a project that people really don't understand. And I think what's going to be really important as we move forward is understanding that we've now launched Feg Token from the new fully audited, actually I say fully audited now twice. We have a second audit, secure third-party security audit being performed on Smart DeFi and its liquidity generating events that we'll be discussing later. But we have a second full third-party security audit being completed currently in the next 5 days or so for Smart DeFi. And that is our token launchpad, which Feg is launched off of, and we've integrated the tokenomic structure that we needed in order to make this project prosper in the way that it should. And so we're really excited to move forward with it. And so I would say that the role of Feg Token in this current ecosystem is that it is an asset-backed token on the Ethereum and Binance Smart Chain, which we'll get into the details about asset backing and how that gives a security layer to your token and also gives utility to it in the form of a smart lending protocol that we have through our Smart DeFi token launchpad. That's not only offered to Feg, but offered to many a number of tokens. But Feg Token allows you to hold and stake in order to earn, whereas we used to be an RFI token, we're currently now in a staking for earn model. So you stake your tokens on our platform. You can go to segex.com, and that's our fully customizable trading and charting platform that we have. And you can actually buy and sell Feg there. It routes through Uni and PCS. and you can also chart with all the charting capabilities of TradingView. But what we've done is the asset backing, it provides the safety and security of Ethereum and BSC. Feg token is backed by ETH and backed by BSC, BNB, excuse me, BNB on BEP20 on the Binance Smart Chain. So we're bringing those layers of security. So what you can do is you can burn your Feg token. It's still deflationary, but not hyper-deflationary as it was in the previous version. It is now deflationary in the sense that you can take your token, you can burn it for that minimum ever-rising baseline value that we're going to get into later throughout this discussion. And it really is a protective layer for the project. We'll get more into it. I get really excited. I want to carry on this tangent with it, but we'll move on from that part. Also, so what's really important about understanding Feg token in this iteration is that with the staking protocol, you're actually able to earn several rewards. We're going to go into staking here in just a minute, but you can earn passively in a number of various ways. And it's really important to understand all those variations. So I implore any of you guys that want to kind of follow along with what we're going to be discussing to go to our Gitbook at docs.fegtoken.com. And you can see the tabs, various tabs, and we'll be going through some information from there. So you'll be able to get a better understanding of what I'm speaking about. So we're also looking at integrating some burn through different utility over time. And so we're looking at coupling the burning mechanism with asset backing into integrating an automated burn method that we've been discussing in the team with FegRox. And so we're going to be moving in that direction here to come. Outside of that, Feg token has also in the past served as the governance of the project, considering that we've done online voting for various aspects of the project when it came to the rebranding of our project, when it came to tokenomic structure, when it came to the overall supply of the token as we were progressing. And prior to the migration, we were doing all these things to build up. And so it has a number of functions. But I think the largest and what people appreciate the most, because everybody's in this space, obviously because they believe in it and they believe it's going to grow and that'll give them some reward, is that you have many a passive income revenue streams that we'll get into discussion about here shortly. Steve, did you have anything you wanted to add to that, brother?
No, I always like you to cover the tech. RTR, so yeah, I'm good with that, bro. There's so much to cover on this AMA, so yeah, we'll leave it at that for now. Yeah, cool.
It's a little bit hard to not run on a tangent because of all the information that there is, but that's essentially what Feg token is at this point. So if you like Moonlight, do you have any questions about that?
Well, I actually would like to ask if RTI, you could share the link that you just mentioned about so that we could ping it on the space that our audience could.
Absolutely. I'll send it to you in our group chat that we have. Does that work for you?
Yes, that would be great. And I will post. We could just read because I'm also curious about taking reward. Doesn't want it, right? Oh my! I feel like we some alphas over here. So friend, be sure to stay. And our RTR and Stitcha might reveal more alphas. Who knows, right? And also, I know we have giveaways, so we will do that later at the end of today's show. Be sure to stay here so you know who and how, right, can get the rewards, as amazing, juicy rewards from our team over here. Thank you so much for RTR, Stitcha, and all the core team members behind the scene to make this happen. Thank you. And I am going to proceed to the second question. And while RTR is explaining the second question, I will also ping the links that he just mentioned about so everyone could take a look. So our second discussion topic over here is, could you please explain the Feg staking protocol? Yeah, you actually just talked about it a little bit, right? And how the stakers benefit from the ecosystem. Yeah, the benefits is definitely the key points over here. Thank you. My phone to RTR.
Absolutely. And so we talked a little bit about what Feg staking is here just a minute ago. So we have built a staking protocol that, as I mentioned previously, Feg token was launched from our fully audited and getting a second audit currently, Smart DeFi Token Launchpad. So we built a staking protocol for all of Smart DeFi, though Feg does vary in a sense that you're able to earn passively. And whenever a project launches from our coming Smart DeFi Token Launchpad, FEG token stakers will actually earn a percentage of their token passively without having to purchase their tokens, which is the unique aspect of the staking protocol for FEG token holders and who actually stake their tokens. And there's going to be various revenue streams that come through the FEG token staking rewards. And so currently we have the FEG tokens generated through tokenomics tax, which is currently the live earning method that's going on. So people, as transaction volume occurs, there's a staking percentage of 1% on buys and 2% on sell tax. And those percentages in tokens are transferred to FEG stakers in the staking contract. And they're done so in a compounding method where you don't have to claim and restake. They just stake and earn and compound and increase your portion of that pool size and allowing you to earn more FEG tokens as it grows, as your bag of staked FEG grows, which is fantastic. There's currently no deposit or withdrawal fee on FEG staking, so you can go in and out of FEG staking as much as you like. Though it's not financial advice, we recommend you stake, obviously, because that's how you're going to be earning outside of market price for FEG token. And as I mentioned, all the rewards are distributed automatically and compounded, so you don't have to do anything with those. And you have limitless earning potential, as I mentioned, because you have all of the projects that launch off Smart DeFi that decide to utilize the staking protocol for Smart DeFi. They're actually going to be giving rewards to the FEG stakers in the form of their token. And you don't only have the value of their token at market price that you can be excited about. Every token that launches from Smart DeFi has the ability to use the asset backing feature, which we're going to get into as we discuss more about Smart DeFi. And that asset backing feature can be in any token that's paired to either ETH or BNB. And so it's really exciting because they can have an asset backing percentage that's high, and you could burn for BNB or ETH or USDT or any other token. I mean, they could even pair against FEG, which is something we'll discuss later. So it's fantastic to see all this limitless earning potential. And this, we haven't even covered the fact that we also, and this AMA is Smart DeFi centric, but I will mention the fact that we've also have developed and are still continue to working on a peer-to-peer with limit order trading platform called FTW and an aggregator. And we're looking at the fee structures for those, feeding the tokenomics, which will also include feeding FEG staking rewards. And so there's just a number of different routes and revenue streams. And this doesn't even begin to mention the fact that we're going to be taking all of our platforms and moving them to a number of EVM blockchains. So Ethereum virtual machine blockchains that are, essentially copies of ETH. And so we're going to be expanding to multiple chains and seeing how we can reward FEG holders and FEG stakers through various methods as well when we do that. And so the options and the limitations here are just null. Like the limitations are null. There's so many options. And as we move forward, I think you're going to find that it's really, really exciting what we've got going on here. And I'll turn it over to Sticha and you for some marketing question here, so we can get a little bit of diversity in what we're talking about.
Absolutely, RTR. Thank you very much, and elegantly put. Yeah, FEG is the governance token of the ecosystem, and everything our resident alien developer designs and codes will always have FEG token at the heart of it, and to reap the rewards from multiple streams of passive income. And the SD Launchpad is no different, but without taking too much away from that. So it's still very competitive in a very competitive market in the Launchpad space. Then it's a fine line and a balance, but something that FEG rocks. As a mathematician, as a world-class, top of his game Web3 coder, with absolutely no reason to doubt, because he's run the maths. He's done many process checks and on the revenue that can come in from the new Leap pre-sales, which I'm sure RTR will touch on at some other point in this AMA. But that's, LEAP stands for liquidity, event, and pre-sales. And the pairing of FEG token, which RTR touched on, is be a major revenue stream and a major boost for FEG token. And there's no other token, no other coin, no other project out there that has something like this, that's self-generating, and it's really, really exciting. So yeah, that's that's just the governance token is FEG token. That's what you're invested in. That's what this AMA is centered around, because each utility that bolts on to the FEG ecosystem, and probably I would imagine the Smart DeFi Launchpad will be our biggest utility going forward. FTW, the aggregator, Graphene Wallet, and things like that. They're going to be great additions. But I do see the SD Launchpad as the big show, the big game, and something to really generate excitement for new projects, new teams, and again, obviously, FEG token investors. Right. So, well, I'm glad, Moonlight, that you touched on that you had seen FEG token and Smart DeFi, I may add, trending on X. We do this quite regularly, but I must say, in the last week or so, the numbers have been quite staggering. We have reached, we pipped 3,000 on Smart DeFi alone, and hashtag FEG token was 7, 8K trending, which is pretty fantastic numbers. So how do we do this? I guess it's quite easy, or not that easy. We have a huge, strong community that everyone knows. We have huge numbers on TG, huge numbers on Twitter, huge numbers on Instagram. But that community, like any other community in crypto, needs to be excited. It needs to be cajoled into action, and the word I'm going to use is engagement. That's key. Engagement in marketing. That's the goal. That's the aim. So we use our community, and while we do this, we do this across many engagement platforms. So we strive when we're posting, when the marketing team are putting a post together for X or for Instagram. Engagement is kind of what we focus around, and we can do that by really successful posts, and tag 3 friends, tell them what hashtags to use, create some cool campaigns, contests, giveaways and stuff, and this all raises engagement, and this is how we trend on Twitter, and then that brings extra eyes, big accounts, and the reach that you're looking for as a crypto project for the other important word, growth. So that's what we do. FegTrack, we have, if you go on FegTrack, which is our app, you can download on the App Store or Google Play. Down at the bottom of the very cool, unique FegTrack app is votes for CoinGecko, votes for CoinMarketCap, and all the big platforms. And you can go on, it's a link there, and we can this is what we do for engagement. We put a post down, tell our community, this is what we want you to do. This will help you drive your investment, because we are a community token. We are a community project. All the team, Boy FegRocks, our developer, is from the community. Obviously, we all just gather and support FegRocks in the best way that we can. So engagement is really key when it comes to marketing. And we don't just trend on X. A few weeks ago, maybe a month ago now, you seen it in the top 3, and actually we hit the top trending token on CoinGecko, which was pretty amazing. And the reach and the exposure that we got from that was fantastic. They even did us a Medium article, and it mentioned the SD Launchpad. It mentioned it was a really positive flavour and a taste, and that we didn't do anything to make that happen. other than our fantastic guerrilla marketing and our fantastic community getting behind us and going voting on all these sites. But they won't just go on, as a community member, we've got to, it's our job and our duty as a team to excite, to work hard, to lead by example, across all these multitasks that we do, that drives engagement and gets us reach and makes us trend. Just recently, the last week, really successful, very proud of it. We had a shill group. It's 1,000 members. And we've given it a facelift. We've made it more jungle. We've called it Jungle Shoes. And the crazy gorillas in there, led by Leo, who's a magnificent guy, an absolute beast for Feg Token in that shill group. At 3 o'clock and 7 o'clock every day, there's 2 targeted raids, really good shill posts. They go and target really good accounts, and that gets us trending, it gets us reach. But it's also really fun Moonlight, because we're giving away bananas in there worth $5. We're giving away a golden banana in there worth $50, and then there's $150 per week in prize money in Feg Token, that we give away, over that week period in Jungle Shills. So it's a really cool and funky place to be. Like I just said, it's at a facelift this week, and it is looking and feeling just like on a different level. And it really is coming just at the right time. And I think that's had a huge impact on getting us from your 2, trending at 2,000 and 3,000, to your 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 that we've seen recently. So big shout out to all the shillers in Jungle Shills, and especially Leo. They're doing a fantastic job for this community and this project, and they're working hard every day at getting the message out for Feg Token. So what else do? We do polls, we ask questions, which is always a good engagement strategy. So we do all these things to get these massive results that we get. Now we're trending on the trending bar, also on crypto.com. And also shout out to Frankie C, who does the CoinMarketCap community daily updates. That's again fantastic engagement and extra reach for this project. And it's a combination of all these things and all these facets and all these tasks and TGs and exposure that we try and gain. It's a combination of all these, as well as having the solid groundbreaking tech delivered and coded by Life is DeFi, FegRox, that makes us top. I think there was even, as a bit of a highlight, and we don't like to say that Feg Token is a meme coin as such, but that's our roots. That's where we came from. And there's also there's a side of us that is still a meme. We're gorillas. We've got Jungle Shills. People. I think the fun side of crypto will, take that away, and it's not crypto really for me anymore. And certainly, I think probably the community would agree. So it's nice to be named as the top meme coin across all the socials with over 1 million hits this week as well. Baby Doge, Floki, and Sheep, and all the other ones just languishing below us. And this is social power, that's social networking power, and something that we should be proud of, as well as having that professional touch with serious Web3 utilities. So that's a nice little roundup. Well, and I'll take you a little bit further into the marketing plan, which is huge for the build up for SD Launchpad and public tests after the next few questions.
Thank you so much, Sijia, for answering the question. Yes, and definitely I have seen the trend, right? It's been trending, the Feg Token, for a while on Twitter or X, whether which way you like to call it. And definitely it's a big platform and it's a big community. And we would like to see more and more newcomer members joining the group, and I have seen different languages posting about Feg, and so I believe this is definitely a global community. Maybe next time we could do a bilingual AMA session as well. And let's go over to our next discussion topic. Before that, I would like to as everyone, if you are interested in learning more about FEG, F-E-G, you could go to the website that we pinned on the top of today's Twitter space so that you could listen to our AMA while reading more information about FEGX.com, right? FEGEX.com trading and charting site, and also more information about staking that both RDR and Stitcher has been talking about. And next, I would like to direct the question to RDR. What is Smart DeFi and what are some of the features that it could offer to us? Thank you.
Absolutely. Before I get into the extensiveness of Smart DeFi, I just want to build on something that you mentioned. First, I'd say we'd be happy to do a bilingual AMA with you, and that's something we would definitely love to do. We have an extensive global reach. We have over 30 language regional chats that we have team leaders, administrators that monitor those chats. We have a structured setup where we have a channel for all of the administrators of each regional group, and we provide updates in that channel, and each leader of their respective regional chat shares that information in their native language and does so in just such an amazing way. And this is really the power and the strength of FEG Token, is that we're a team of people from all over the world, and the administrators of each regional group are part of our core team, and we just have such an amazing sense of diversity here. And I think that's part of the success that we've achieved, is the differences in opinion because of our varying views and perspectives and upbringings, and it's just such a beautiful sense of cohesiveness with what we're working with. So I'll get off that tangent. Just want to say I love all of you guys for all your hard work, everybody around the world, all of the gorillas. And we'll move into Smart DeFi. It's pretty extensive discussion, so we'll start at the beginning. I mentioned previously that Smart DeFi is a fully audited token launchpad, and that is an understatement. The fact that we've done an extensive third-party audit with PeckShield has been completed. It took several weeks. We've also changed a couple of things and had discussions with them as we've made minor improvements to the code. And throughout our testing phase, we've been doing an internal testing phase going on currently for the new features that we're bringing out. Now, we've also taken it upon ourselves to get a second third-party audit that is going to be done within the next 5 days. Now, this third-party audit is taking just under about a month, a little bit shorter than the first time PeckShield did it. Note that we've also given them the feedback that we've received and that we learned through the first audit. So they're understanding what we're doing a little bit better. And so we're definitely moving in a fast way. But the code is very complex, and they've actually stated it to FegRox how impressed they were with the code and how complex it is. They brought in a third party. They brought in another set of eyes on our code to really go through line by line, just because of how complex it is. So they've stacked what is an additional person onto what they would usually do for a simpler code. So it just really speaks to the testament of, how Stichal was praising Life is DeFi, or FegRox, our lead developer, for how intelligent he is and the alien code that he really does produce. Now, outside of that, there are a number of features with the token launchpad. I mentioned a bit about asset backing and how you're able to back your token by an underlying asset. And this improves the safety and security of that token, right? So let's use FEG Token, for example. FEG Token is backed by ETH and BNB. So the FEG ETH is backed currently by just over 50 Ethereum. And then the FEG BSC side is backed by just under 350 BNB. And that comes out to over $105,000. And on the ETH side, that's $114,000 backing FEG Token as a whole. Now, we discussed that with the asset backing earlier, you could use a variety of tokens. Now, we chose to use ETH and BNB, and this was because we know that Ethereum, being one of the largest and most copied blockchains with the largest decentralized application features on it, the security and the security of the ETH blockchain, we know that there's a lot of security behind Ethereum. And the same goes for BNB. We know that BNB is safe and secure, and just the sheer size and use of BNB throughout the world makes BNB a suitable choice. Now, you could also use stablecoins to back your token, though we've seen in the past some toxicity and some volatility with stablecoins in the space, I would definitely say, and not financial advice, right? But I would say that be cautious about what you use as your backing for your backing, your backed asset. Now, what's really nice about asset backing as well is that you can actually back your token by any token back to Ethereum, ERC20, or BNB, BEP20. So you could take your token and back it by FEG and say, because FEG is paired to Ethereum or FEG is paired to BNB, depending on which chain you launch your token on through the Smart DeFi Token Launchpad. And so actually, FegRox and I had a phone call last night about this, and we were discussing it, and we were saying, you could back your token by FEG and be double backed, because you'll have your token backed by FEG token, which obviously you would have a market value that's changing and moving, and as well as the backing value of FEG token. Now, you can do that with any Smart DeFi token that's paired to ETH or BNB. And so it's just really amazing that the diversity of what you can use the asset backing value for. And for example, so FEG token with its ETH and BNB, the amount of ETH and BNB that's backing FEG token will only go up. The baseline amount will only go up, though the value is subjected to, the varying value of ETH and BNB. Anybody in this space is here because we know that that's going to go up over time. Though it may see some changes in value, we know it will go up over time. And that, that's what we project, right? It's all speculative essentially, but that's what we believe. And so putting us with the safety and security of it and knowing that its longevity is there, we really think that it's an amazing feature. Now, outside of just having that value backing your token, there's also a utility feature to that, and it's called smart lending. What you can do with smart lending is you can take an amount of tokens and take a loan against that backed value and get a 30-day interest-free loan, essentially being your own bank for it and just saying, hey, I need a couple $100. We'll have X amount of tokens. I put those tokens into the contract, which still earn rewards, compounding rewards if they're reflective. I'm sorry, they don't if they're reflective, but it still earns the asset backing value. It doesn't stop the asset backing value of those tokens by increasing. So you can put those into the contract and those tokens will still earn. So let's say I took out $200 and I come back in 30 days and I pay my $200 back. I come back and now my tokens are worth $205, depending on the value. Well, now I can take another loan for 30 days for $205 because that's what the backing value is worth, depending on the percentage that the project owner puts towards the asset backing value into their project. The tokenomics tax that'll depend on, and their volume would vary basing, giving you the amount of backing value, moving that value at what rate. And so it's really an interesting feature, and we really think it's great because you're leveraging the power of your tokens and giving yourself a loan and interest-free. And you can take that money, pay a bill, invest in another project as long as you come back within 30 days. And if you can't extend it within 30 days, you can sacrifice 0.1% of that asset that you've used as collateral to extend for 30 more days. And if you don't do that for whatever means or reason, your tokens are burnt for the asset, but you've already gotten the asset backing amount. So those tokens are now burnt and they're out of circulating supply, which means for that token, say, for example, FEG, if somebody took out a loan and didn't pay it back, then they would burn those tokens off, which means that any asset backing balance that comes in is backing less tokens. So it increases the rate and the speed of that backing value for that token. So it's actually just a really robust and amazing protocol in that sense. Now, we talked about the staking protocol that we integrated for all of Smart DeFi, and we explained how FEG token varies in that it receives rewards from every token that launches off of Smart DeFi. Now, the staking protocol, you have that protocol for any token that launches from Smart DeFi. They can activate that staking protocol and have a utility for earning right off that's fully audited. We had our staking protocol audited by PeckShield as well. And so you have a third-party independent audit on that, as well as your token at launch, which is phenomenal. I mean, you're getting all the utility and all the safety for free, essentially, just launching and utilizing the Smart DeFi Token Launchpad, which is fantastic. We're going to get into what Stichon mentioned earlier, which is Leap liquidity, the liquidity feature that we're going is super innovative. So what we're doing is built an innovative feature that combats a lot of the protocol functionalities that we've seen flaws in with pre-sales in the past. So we don't want to call it a pre-sale so much as it is a liquidity generating event within this protocol, the LEAP protocol, but we'll get into those details here in just a minute. But what we've done is we've combated the dumping problems that you see with many of pre-sales today. And what you see is people botting and attacking a pre-sale, and they dump on that pre-sale, and the token ultimately fails because people that got into these pre-sales, they just dump it down, holding such a vast amount of the supply, and it impacts that market price tremendously. And so they really damage the project. Now we've come up with a way to defeat that, and we're going to get into that in just a minute. Part of Smart DeFi is that we offer a Rocksry program, which is an advisory program where FegRox can advise projects, giving them access to FegRox as a developer for his guidance on smart contracts. We also want to give a disclaimer stating that we're not responsible for any of the things that come out as third-party contracts that are integrated into Smart DeFi. We've done our due diligence in auditing the Smart DeFi token launchpad, so the token comes out audited, the staking contract comes out audited, etc. But third-party contracts that they've built on, that's on their own. But you also have the option to utilize FegRox for Rocksry, which is fantastic. We've integrated a front-run loss protection feature, which is fantastic. You can activate that on fegex.com. And what's amazing about that is you only have to activate it once with your slippage designation, and it actually protects you on all of the Smart DeFi projects that you've traded on fegex.com. And the way that works is it keeps track of the balance history array, and it essentially calls the current balance, last balance traded, and several previous balances, and make sure that they're not out of whack, that they're not too far out of range. And so it'll cancel your transaction if it finds that it is such. And so we're really excited about that front run protection. With the ability to launch multiple pools, you can mint your token, you can grab your token, you can pair it against ETH, BNB. We talked about that, but you also have the option to, and we're going to get into this later, the option to pair against Feg token for arbitrage opportunities. And that'll be part of the liquidity generating events in the LEAP protocol that we're going to be discussing here shortly. And that offers a vested period, different vesting periods we'll get into here shortly as well. So you have option liquidity locker inside of the contract. I'll talk about that in a minute as we get into the LEAP protocol. We have an RFI versus non-RFI. I mentioned before that now Feg token went from an RFI where you earn passively directly to your wallet to a staking protocol earning feature where you have to stake your tokens. And it's because we removed the RFI functionality as we found it to be a little bit holding us back just a little bit with some centralized exchanges, not all, but some centralized exchanges. And we've had less issues listing on centralized exchanges with the non-RFI structure. You can, after you launch your token, you have editable tokenomics. We've actually built an exciting dashboard called SD Scan where project creators can go in, and it's very user friendly for people who are not as familiar with blockchain to go in and actually make edits to their tokenomic structure, their asset backing, etc. And that's because we did that so that people with non-development skills are able to do so in a really easy and fluid way. And we'll have tutorials on that as well. So we're really excited about that. But just note that the tokenomics are editable after the launch, which makes it easy for you to cater to your project and its needs as you grow, which is something that we found we didn't have with the first iteration of Feg token, which prompted our migration to the Smart DeFi protocol that you see today. So we're really excited about that. Now, not only are you going to be able to utilize SD Scan as one of the utility features that you have for Smart DeFi using Smart DeFi, but you also are going to be able to integrate your tokens information into the FegTrack application, which is available on the Apple and the Android store, which is fantastic. And you can see it now if you go to the Android or Apple store and download FegTrack, you can see all of the information for Feg token, which is fantastic. And you'll see some of the token data for the Smart DeFi projects on the app as well, which is going to be amazing. It's another utility that you get free at your fingertips just by utilizing Smart DeFi. Now, FegEx, we mentioned earlier, fegex.com, you'll be able to chart your token and see your token with all the TradingView functionality. As we have a partnership with TradingView, you'll see all of your token functionality and charting there on token data and the functionality of charting on fegex.com, which is another amazing feature that you're getting for absolutely nothing. You'll also be able to trade tokens on fegex.com as we route through the different various swaps that are Uni or PCS with those over time. So we're really excited about the tech to come with this. Smart DeFi is just it's just a robust and secure launchpad that we've really taken the time and taken the energy to see what the first iteration that we had was flawed with, and we're bringing out just a robust ecosystem the second time around, which offers so much customization and flexibility for projects that want to launch any kind of token that they want to. I mean, you can even tokenize assets by turning off all of your tokenomics taxes and tokenize an asset through it. I mean, it's just endless function and features that you can go through here. So I'll get off of Smart DeFi here. I know that there's so much to talk about with it. It can be a little bit overwhelming, but as I mentioned earlier to Moonlight, I implore you guys to go to docs.fegtoken.com, our Git book, and read up on Smart DeFi. And if you have any questions, feel free to come into any of our communities and ask questions about it. We're more than happy to discuss it with you in detail so you get a better understanding of it. And we also have a channel called SD Listings. That's SD Listings, like Smart DeFi SD Listings on Telegram. And that channel is for people who want to launch projects. And we go through there and give a little bit of extra. We give a little bit of extra time and help and energy on there for going through those. And we're going to be offering public testing. We haven't given a specific date yet. That's actually coming soon, a specific date on when we're going to be integrating a public testing where we're going to walk through many team members like FegFanic and several others, Koss and such, and FegiWap and King Koopa. Many of them are going to go through and teach various users how to go through and launch a Smart DeFi project and what it all means and how to use it, and just this amazing functionality. So that is going to be great because we like to get the feedback for the community before we launch it out. If there's any issues with it, we'll be able to find them with a vast majority of testers that come in, because we test internally as a team. We're not the largest team, though we have 70 some odd members of our team in the core channel of our team, plus administrators, another 50 something administrators from other regional chats. So it'll be fantastic to get public testing rolling out. And I'll let you go. I'll bring it back to you, Moonlight, if you have any questions about the SD protocol. I know it was a lot to take in, but if you have anything, I'm more than happy to answer.
Thank you so much, RDR, for sharing all the information about Smart DeFi. Yes, in Web3, there are definitely a lot more information that we need to learn and then keep updated, right? So thank you for all the information. And also, friends, be sure to check the website over here that we already pinned on the top of the our Twitter space, so that you all could read detailed information. And I'm also going to check our Binance Live over here, because today we are streaming on Binance Live at the same time. And yes, as always, our Feg Token AMA session is now featuring on the front page of Binance Live. Friends, if you go to Binance.com and find your live session, you're going to see our banner over there. Is so cool. I'm going to screenshot it and share with the community pretty soon after our AMA. And now let's continue to our following discussion topic over here. We would like to switch microphone to Stitcha, talking about Smart DeFi again. And the Smart DeFi Launchpad promised to be the biggest utility yet for the Fed project. So what marketing plans do you have in place to support it? Thank you.
Thanks, Moonlight. Well, we have a huge build-up plan ready for the investors to digest. But before I start to touch on the marketing plan, we like alpha. So there's 1 million Feg tokens. That's roughly just under $1,000 that we're going to give away during this AMA. Or at the end. So make sure you stay tuned right to the end. You don't want to miss out on the chance of winning 1 million Feg tokens. So that's not the only alpha. Just before we came on the show, I kind of put crypto banter on for about just a few minutes. And I was on long enough just to hear Ram say he was very bullish today and he expected a bit of an altcoin pump. So there's a lot of alpha in this channel today. There's marketing plans, there's alien tech, there's giveaways, and then I'm just about to give you some more alpha on the public tests and the SD Launchpad. Right, so I'll get into the plan. Right, so it's a twofold plan. There's a pre-launch and post-launch or deployment of the Launchpad. and we've got huge budgets for that, which I'll touch on in a second. But before I do so, Moonlight, it's very important that public testing will, it's going to be here. We're talking, we are days away from public test. Now, what is public test? What will that look like? What will that do for the project? Well, the first point of note is it will speed up all future testing. Bugs, UIs, and the Web3 part of it will be found far quicker, far more speedier when the public testing goes live. So speeding up the testing for these gargantuan utilities that the Alien is dropping for us is a huge step forward.
I think we lost Dija for a few seconds.
Can you hear me, Moonlight?
Now you're back.
Good
Thank
stuff. Yeah, so public testing, speeding up all future utility testing for this project, which is huge. We all want these things yesterday. Crypto is, we don't look too far in the future. It's all about the now, and it's all about, when Moon. So testing and the speeding up of those tests is a huge bonus. So that's the first thing it does. The second thing it does, and this is another huge positive, is it showcases the tech that FegRox builds to the world and to the industry and to all the leaders and players in and around the crypto and DeFi space. So that's huge because it really will put that tech on the map. And once cryptos, people are nosy. People like to delve into people's wallets and technology and see, what they think about it, see if they can find any faults and things like this. That builds again engagement around the technology that this token is built around. So public testing does those two things, which is again will be huge progress for this project. So really excited around public test. Now, as for the marketing side of the public test, we've got Dubo, who's been given a very brief design brief to go away and make something cool and special for public tests. But we are going to it's going to be a suck it and see type process. Don't expect this to pump the project or the price initially, but what it will do over time is those two things that I explained earlier, and that will give it serious traction and made it a huge addition to the ecosystem. So yeah, but we'll kind of see how it goes for the first week. I think Fanek and Cos will be watching closely. We're going to make some videos and things, which will be really cool. So that is public testing. But right, we're all here for the big show, which is the Smart DeFi Token Launchpad, or the SDL, however you want to badge that. This is going to be Feg's biggest utility. So with it needs a big marketing plan, which we've got. So this is not an exhaustive plan, and I'm not going to read you all of it because I can't give too much juice and too many golden nuggets that's taken months and years to accrue the knowledge and the contacts of, but I will give you a nice brief flavor of the marketing plan. So the idea is to position Smart DeFi Launchpad as the leading DeFi platform for all project launches. And how do we do this? We're going to streamline communications of all the Launchpad utilities and implement this quite comprehensive marketing plan. So the initial budget is $15,000 to $20,000, and that's for the pre, probably just as it goes live. Now I'll get into how that's going to be spent in a second. The audits on the second on this stuff, they've also quite a high price. These audits, they're not free, they're not cheap, and one of the reasons that Feg Token is now primed for success. It's secure, and the reason it's secure is we've spent a shit ton of money on auditing, tens and tens of thousands of pounds, hundreds of thousands of pounds over the course of the project's life cycle, and this gives us a firm footing. So the auditing, as RTR touched on before, I think we've got the first feedback from them. We've already sent that off, quick step, and that's in process. So 15 to 20k for the initial marketing. We've also then budgeted 15 to 20k for the post-launch and the big second push. So that's one exciting thing. It's quite a large budget, and the reason we can have a budget like this that we never had in the past is because now we've got the tokenomics and the structure to support that, as RTR so well put before. So that's a massive bonus for the project. So that's going to support public testing first, and then the launch. So we've created a few different TGs, but public testing will have its kind of home in SD listings, but also will be driven from the main TG initially. Now the public test quite easy to set up. This is Fanik, Cos, Tommy really doing the legwork for this, but the work's been done, and expect public tests pretty soon. Okay, so we touched on Leap pre-sales before, liquidity event and pre-sales. Now, as for the marketing around that, that's in progress at the minute. So the public testing, we're going to make two video sessions. Well, there's two video sessions that were held in the main TG, and then once it goes live to public and gets more mature, and we kind of know where everything fits into place, it could well get its own home, not just in SD listings. So that's the Leap pre-sales and the public testing. Now we've also got engagement boosts, and we've got this prize monies. There's 2 or 3 of these campaigns, but I don't want to give too much away right now. So let's just say we've got 3 really, really cool engagement boost campaigns ready to go. What else have we got that's on the plan? This is a huge one. So this is at the movies. So Dubo, the best for me, probably one of the best design guys in the world. We couldn't pay to get Dubo standard because Dubo standard just rarely exists in any realm around this space that any project could attain or grab. So the fact that we have Dubo is a huge bonus. But this is going to be Dubo on steroids. So we've put some funding together for Dubo's a production company and a huge team, and they're going to make us a really cool short video. Now, I can tell you that when I read the script for this short video, it was electrifying, and the hairs were standing up on the back of my neck. It is better than the original Smart DeFi one that it did, and that's just off the script. But like I said, this is Dubo and his team on steroids, because now we've thrown a little bit of money at it from the marketing budget from this all-up campaign, and I can't wait to see how that comes into life. And that's going to be with us, probably not too far away. So be warned, ladies and gentlemen, that really will be something quite special. So that's in work and happening as we speak. So what else is on the plan? So we've got a ton of influencers and KOLs. We've got Jasmine Penido, Andy L. We expect, I've been in talks with Andy L, huge Chinese influencer. He's happy to run some spaces with us and be a KOL. Jasmine, we've got a huge campaign with Jasmine Penido. She's a TV star, South America, and we've struck a huge deal. And this I think it was 25 accounts. They're all like in the millions of followers, all huge engagement accounts on X and Instagram. The Instagram account is an absolute banger. It's 4 million followers, and it gets serious hits and engagement. So Jasmine will be doing and producing a personal video of her, looking into FegTalk and supporting us, and that's really, really huge. So Jasmine's going to be like Jasmine's our first ever KOL on FegTalk, and with that relationship, which we've not paid anything yet. It's just a deal we've agreed to, and everything that she's done up to now, and that's she's even put hashtag FegTalk on a profile. That has over 1 million followers, and she's done some really serious, cool Feg tweets and posts, and been getting involved in the community, which is a real pleasure to see, because that wasn't part of the deal. So when you know that someone's doing that, you know that they're voting, it's genuine, and they're really enjoying the time, immersing themselves in the technology, and more importantly, the community. So that's Jasmine. She's really cool, and we've got at least 25 accounts. There's 60 posts going to happen over a 4-week period, as well as that. But that's just a small part of it. It's the Instagram, it's the videos. We've also got an AMA, and I can tell you that I'll be on with OKX, which will be a huge AMA. But these are just small parts of the deal. It's quite a long and encompassing 4-week deal, and that deal is expected to start 2 weeks before the Launchpad deploys, and 2 weeks after, which gives us a good run up and the build up, but also post-launch we can really hit it hard with the the numbers that's happening, and the launches and the teams and the developments around the Launchpad, which we'll be able to push. So really excited about Jasmine Penido. That'll be really cool. So yeah, Andy L, I touched on, he's huge Chinese influencer. He's very supportive of FegTalk, and he's a really genuine, hardcore account. He's well known in the space with all the big names. He's a fantastic guy, and we want to work with him a lot more. So that will involve X Spaces, and I would imagine, because we've touched on this in a few meetings that we've had, possibly launching his own token. But also he's got a lot of other side businesses in crypto that he could migrate and bring over to Smart DeFi and utilize utilize the technology and all those benefits. So that would be huge, and that's something that's, I can probably say, is good. It's very, very, very likely to happen, which is cool. So we've got the Soccer Skills guys as well. Now these guys, they get 30k viewers on their lives. They're on TikTok, Instagram, and they're huge. So I've sent them. I think I've sent them a little bit of Feg months ago. We're building up to the build-up plan for marketing, and they're going to be releasing some stuff. The marketing team, which I'm very proud of, that I can say that I lead and run, but they kind of just feed me. They're a great bunch of guys, and they put together some fantastic stuff. And not also Jasmine, but also the Soccer Skills guys, and give them a bit of a brief description of something cool they could do on the soccer pitch, and then we Fegerize it with gorillas and cool stuff. So I'm expecting the lives and the reach they kind of get to be something quite big for us. And we're not talking huge money for these guys. They're from the UK. They're only young lads. They're very, very good at what they do. And I expect them to come on the journey with us, which will be, a nice thing, and something that's kind of, if an influencer or somebody you can potentially give some very precious marketing funds to is not going to come on the journey with you, and they're only in it for just some fast cash, then that's not what you want. And experiencing this game, speaking to the hundreds and thousands of people I have in the past, you can suss people out pretty quick. So your scammers and the people who are just after a fast hit and a fast buck, no need to apply a Feg token, because you'll be shown the door before you even get your foot in it. And that's something that's down to the team and myself to police to make sure that every book and every dollar is cost effective. So that's the Soccer Skills guys. We've got other KOLs and influencers on this list, but I don't want to give too much away. I don't want to give you too much alpha in one show. Trending, we touched on before. We're fantastic, but CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, Twitter, X, we're going to be trending on these because we've got a great community, we've got a great team, and we're passionate about our project. So expect all that to happen at the same time along in this build-up plan. What else have we got? Publications. So I think we're kind of long overdue a high quality publication such as Cointelegraph. So we've got 2 packages we can pick from. We've gone for the top package, which gives you all the bells and whistles. Cointelegraph, you're on the main app page, just like Moonlight said. We're on the Binance Live page right now. It's the same for Cointelegraph. You've done Yahoo, Bazinga. So you're on Cointelegraph as the main article and Medium article, but you're on 3,000 others, and it's the top package. And that's I think I can be open and honest, said that's $6,000-7,000 for the top package on Cointelegraph. But for the Smart DeFi Launchpad, more than warrants that amount spending on it for a quality, a top quality, the best you can get publication, because it's something the community investors can they can reference for days, weeks, and months. So we're going to be doing that for the Launchpad. But also probably would be pertinent and a cool thing to do would also do a smaller version, like a 1K budget publication for public testing, just to give some more explanation and information around the public tests. So what else are we strong on this campaign? So advertisements. So before we've utilised the DEX Tools text box, so we'll be enabling that again on a throttle budget through the Coinzilla account that we've got. That's been really effective. The numbers are always really good. So we'll be continuing with that. Also looking at other stuff, your regular ads, as well as Facebook, IG, campaign boosts, post boosts on X and IG. And it's also all things that we can utilize. So community, the next one, AMAs and VCs. So with AMAs, we've talked about so we're doing one right now, which is a huge AMA with Moonlight, and these will continue. Take this AMA tonight as the start of the build-up plan to the Smart DeFi Token Launchpad, and there will be an AMA, once, twice a week with, whether it's in our own VC, our own X Spaces, or with other great influencers and platforms such as Moonlight. We will be ramping up that now. So we've got a big one planned through Jasmine and the deal we've got with her, with OKX. That's huge. There's a second one. It's probably even bigger, but I can't reveal the name right now because we've not quite sealed the deal with it. But there is 2 huge AMAs, and one is with OKX. So very exciting. That's a huge AMA to look forward to. So expect AMAs and VCs to ramp up, and also in our own channel. What else is there? So we've got Chinese marketing. We've got a great Chinese lead marketeer in Gorilla Feeder. The guy is so well connected, so well thought of. He's been here since day one, and I can't speak highly enough about his character and what he has done personally for Feg Token. And we've got a lot to thank Gorilla Feeder for. And he runs our Chinese marketing. He did some with Gate.io a couple of months back. It was really successful, and that was one of the reasons that Feg started to move a few months back, from a price perspective. So shout out to Gorilla Feeder, you're a top guy. Now that's just a little blip, a little taste. I'll probably give you half of the stuff on the list, but all these things, big budget, big plans, and I'm expecting big moves in the market when we enable and enact this plan. So I will just touch on the fact that yes, this is the build-up plan. We're waiting. We're kind of like, we're waiting like a coil spring for some of these actions. Just waiting kind of for public testing to start and a little bit more feedback from the audits, and then we can get going. But with the amazing momentum that we've got right now, it would be prudent to carry on, to keep up the momentum that's been around us for like the last couple of weeks now. So with that in mind, and crypto is about the now, so I want to keep you guys happy with the alpha. So we've got calls. We've got some big call groups coming, and that's going to be starting tomorrow. And this was recommended by the team and the community member. I got in touch with them. We got a huge discount. And Crypto Moonshots will be live in Crypto Moonshots tomorrow with a post and a pin. And also, they'll allow us to add the FEG buy bot for a week for 7 days in that channel. So that starts tomorrow. That's cool. We've also got Nina on X, huge account on X, plus 3 other accounts. We get 2 posts of each. I've got a ridiculously cheap deal for this because Nina is a huge account, massive engagement, as all of the other 3 accounts do. And it will be a nice boost, nice bit of reach, a nice bit of new exposure to new investors from those 4 accounts. That again will be happening in the next 24 hours. But the price that she's given me is too good to turn away, really. And we'll kind of measure and monitor the results. So that's happening tomorrow. What else is happening outside the plan? Well, we're also looking at Raid Sharks bot. So that's, we've all seen the TG shill bots and Raid bots in the many TGs that you might be in and around in DeFi and crypto. You might have seen the Shield bot, but the Raid Sharks bot is the best example and kind of the best bot we've seen. And this again is to drive engagement in the community, and to, if we're trending at 5,000 on X right now with no Raid bot, we could be doing ×5, ×10 those numbers with an effective Raid bot. So the team have been looking at this. Shout out to SK, shout out to Logan, and a few of the other guys have been working on this and having a look. We've kind of downlisted it to the Raid Sharks bot as the best one for us. So that again tomorrow or over the next 2 days will be coming into the TG, and you'll see it, and it will start to be part of the furniture in and around the FEG ecosystem. And we've got, we should get really good results. So I'm quite stoked at what that could do, because I'm all about X. I'm all about getting the word out there, and all about driving good engagement in the community, and that's what this bot will do. So yeah, watch out for that one. Also, Tommy, our illustrious FegTrack and UI dev, he's also been working on a team task bot. And that can drive engagement in the team, which then drives engagement in the community. And it's something we can incentivize going forward. So it's a little bit top secret right now, and maybe Tommy will tell us some more soon. But yeah, Tommy's team task bot is a thing, is being worked on, and is also quite exciting for where we're going on engagement activities. We've also got Zeely in test, another social platform for driving community engagement on the socials. That's already, we've been looking at that and testing it now for a good couple of months. Again, shout out to SK, who's been involved in that, and expect something in the next few weeks, or certainly the next few months, on Zeely. But it's nothing is simple. Anything that's easy isn't worth having, and this is the case with some of these things. Now, before I kind of flip you back to the next question, Moonlight, I just want to kind of celebrate a few highlights, if I could. So on CoinGecko, we're the top trending coin, and we had the free article. We've been trending on X with hashtag smart DeFi and hashtag FegToken for now days and weeks in the thousands. On Crypto Insights, we were the top meme coin across all social platforms with 1 million engagements, which is amazing. We get 40,000 views on most of our X posts, which is the serious ones at least, which is pretty cool, and something that we can all be proud of, and something that it means we're going in the right direction, because the views and engagement on X, it does keep growing. So other than that, just want a quick shout out to the team. So I've got Fanik, amazing tester, amazing person, does a lot of stuff in the background. It's 1 in a million. Cos, again, I would probably say it's like the male version of Fanik, just amazing person and so structured and does so much for us. Nitpicker, amazing dev. Leo, Logan, Ollie, Jeannie, Philip and Philip, Feggy Rap, Frankie C, Olsen, Linton. The guys in Spawn Tank, which I'll get to in a minute, which is the new marketing recruitment cell that we've created. Perry Mason and Mark West. Mark West has done all the new stickers you've seen recently. Perry Mason did the Wake Up to FegTrack campaign. These are community members plucked out, put in a loving, warm and supporting environment, and already they're producing cool stuff. King Cooper, HH, MJ, I've already mentioned Gorilla Feeder and SK, and our resident YouTube guys, Rico Moneybags and Crypto Ether. To name, the list is endless, but just some of the people who deserve a shout out and a bit of recognition. I hope I didn't go on for too long there, Moonlight.
That is just perfect. Thank you so much, DJ. I know there's definitely a long list that we need to shout out to, because to build a community that is so huge is definitely not easy, and need to rely on lots of people to work together. So once again, thank you for everyone who were mentioned or not mentioned and who showed up over here to join today's MA session. Now we would like to bring our question to RTR over here to talk about Prada, because we know that there is a LEAP protocol, right? Self-funded and also LGE at launch versus pre-sale in Q2. So what does the Smart DeFi offer to our community within the FEG ecosystem? Thank you.
So when we talk about LEAP, which is liquidity events and pre-sales, that's the overall protocol. Underneath that, you have individual pre-sales and what is known as liquidity generating events, LGE. Now, before I get into those, I want to talk a little bit about, what I mentioned previously, which is the issue that we've all faced utilizing regular pre-sale functionality, whether that's on Pink Sale or others alike. Now, whenever somebody gets into the pre-sale, they get out, they hold a large portion of the supply. And what do they do when that project initially pumps? They dump it down, impacting tremendously the market price. And you've seen people bought these projects over and over and really damage the projects. And some of them don't survive, after the pre-sales. They just dwindle out and fade away. And that's because they don't have the opportunity to grow. They don't have a fair advantage. And pre-sales, FegRox and I had this discussion last night. We're talking about pre-sales been around over 10 years, and nobody has decided to change the structure of a pre-sale until now, until FEG has come out with Smart DeFi and liquidity generating events, this innovative tokenless pre-sale structure where you're taking BNB or ETH, essentially, as we run on these two chains currently, and you're buying into a pre-sale. What you're doing is you're essentially giving your BNB or ETH to the project. They're matching that value in tokens, and you're supplying liquidity. Now, you never actually purchase those tokens. They're being lent by the project. And so you're in this liquidity generating event where you're supplying the backing for the token. And what does that mean for the project, and how does it combat the dumping of market price? It's that when you go into these pre-sales or into this liquidity generating event, it's not even fair to call it a pre-sale. Excuse me. I'll put some money in a jar later for that ill-spoken error. So when you utilize this liquidity generating event, what you're doing is you're offering that liquidity, you're pairing against the token, and how do you exit? And how does that exit vary from a pre-sale dump in a traditional pre-sale? And what that is that when you withdraw your amount that you've put in and have vested over time, there's vesting periods for this liquidity generating event. When you withdraw, you're withdrawing the backing amount that you've earned over time, right? You're withdrawing the backing, and that backing is, of course, if the volume moves, you're going to be earning more than what you've put in. And there's another, I'll talk about the SAFU portion of this in a minute. And so you're pulling out your vested portion, right? Portions of your vested amount of LP in ETH or BNB or whatever backing the token is in. And those tokens that are paired, most of you know, or if you don't know, when you're supplying liquidity on a DEX like Uniswap or PCS, you have to supply an equal dollar value of backing, such as ETH or BNB, to the token. Let's say let's call it Smart DeFi token. So you put $100 worth of ETH and you have to have $100 in value of tokens. Now, what happens when you're pulling out is that you're pulling out some of that $100, and whatever amount of tokens is paired to that amount is going to be pulled out, and it's going to burn for the asset backing. Now, what does that mean for the project? Well, that means that whatever amount of percentage you put into your liquidity generating event, that portion of your supply is deflationary. And why is that? Because anybody that pulls out of the liquidity generating event, they're pulling out the LP from the back, and you're taking those tokens and burning them. So now your supply is deflationary because they're burning off that supply, and it's pushing your percentage of asset backing that you've allocated, if you decide to do so. It's pushing that asset backing up per token. It's pushing that and driving that up, right? And it's doing it all without, and I repeat, without affecting the market price, which is the problem that all of these pre-sales in the past over 10 years have been doing. And it's allowing people to dump the market price. And it doesn't affect the market price because you're pulling out an even amount of backing and in tokens from the liquidity. And so this is just an amazing and innovative feature that we've come up with. And we've integrated some security aspects to it. And that's, you have rounds, right? You have a minimum amount of time that I've talked about vesting periods. So you have vesting periods that have rounds that you can essentially, based on the minimum and maximums, I'll just give it to you kind of easy, between 35 days and 5 years is essentially the minimum and maximum rounds of vesting that you can pull out in percentages. We've done a lot of internal testing with LGE, and it's been fantastic. And what's recommended, and I had this discussion with FegRocks last night, was recommended that 3% LP injection tax used for the initial LGE, because if you do a 3% LP injection tax, it essentially balances the withdrawal from people in the pre-sale, and that stabilizes the market. It stabilizes your liquidity, and not that it impacts your market price, but you have shallow liquidity, limited depth. You have higher volatility when people do buy and sell on market price. Now, you also can have a dev share of the LGE, and the dev can lock that share and vest it for a particular amount of time. They can do a 50% initial claim of their vesting period, like kind of like an upfront pull, but that's the LGE amount. That's their LGE dev share amount minus their percentage, minus the percentage that they have for the dev share. So it does have a limitation on it. You always want to be conscientious and aware of what you're investing in. So you want to look for projects that have higher portions of dev shares and these things of these nature, because though the protocol is safe, you want to make sure that you're investing in something that's safe and secure, right? So we offer all these different ranges. So if somebody has a high dev share, you want to research what they're going to utilize that dev share for. And if they have a nice mapped out plan for it, that's one thing. If they give you no reasons at all, well, then you make your own judgment call on that, right? Not financial advice. There is, in the liquidity generating event, a 1% minimum that goes to your backing. And after that, it's split. So you can split it between your asset backing and your LP. Now, you have an option. Developers have an option to airdrop as a reward. You can do a bonus airdrop to your LGE participants. You can say, hey, I want to take 1% of the supply, and I'm gonna, because I want to raise X amount of dollars, I'm gonna take 1% of the supply, and if anybody participates in my LGE, they're gonna receive X amount of tokens as a participant of this airdrop, which is another fantastic way to help promote and push the funding of your project as you move it forward. Now, we can also talk about how this impacts pairing against FEG token. And this is a huge aspect of what LGE is and how it's going to benefit FEG token. And I think when Rox and I talk about this, he's always super excited about LGE and what it means for FEG token. So you can do, let's say 100 BNB is what you raise for your liquidity generating event, right? And you can do 30% of that at minimum pairing to FEG token. And what does that do for you as a project when you open up a pair against FEG? Well, it's going to take 30%, let's say 30 of that BNB at minimum, though it's recommended to do 40 to 50% just because you get that much more depth. But you can do at minimum 30%, which if you did 100 BNB, let's say that's $30,000, 30% would be about $9,000, which goes and buys FEG on the market. And what's that do? That bumps FEG's market price, right? And that creates momentum and volume for FEG. And you're pairing against FEG token. So what does that mean for your token? Well, you're pairing against FEG, which has volume and movement. That's expanding your user base because you're tapping into the entire user base of FEG token, because it's going to be promoted and pooled against FEG token. You're going to see multiple pairs against FEG, and you're going to look at what you can trade into and out of FEG token. And so that's going to put visibility on your token. It's going to create arbitrage opportunities back and forth between FEG token and your token. It's going to create, and vice versa. And so we're really excited to see how this impacts the liquidity, how it impacts market price. It's going to bump liquidity of FEG token. It's going to move the tokenomics, and it's going to do the same thing for your token as it creates arbitrage opportunities, because you're creating another liquidity pool, which is the ultimate goal, right, for getting eyes on your project. Is to create secondary pools and put them in different locations, whether that's a centralized exchange or other pools on decentralized exchanges. Now, another really cool feature for the user side of participating in a liquidity generating event is that you're borrowing you're putting in the backing, but you're borrowing the tokens from the project. So you're earning swap rewards on Uni and PCS as a liquidity provider while you just hold it. Not to mention that you're earning the rewards of the token. You're earning on the back end from the liquidity being built up for the project. Now you can do up to 100% of your supply in a liquidity generating event, which means you're basically giving yourself a minimum value of what that token can be. So wherever you start it, that's the minimum price of that token, which, I mean, depending on the dev share and stuff, you can do a minimal dev share of that and promote the rest of it, split it to asset backing, split it to LP, and really have yourself a very safe, and for liquidity generating event participants, very safe project. Now, when that project moves up, you can pull a little bit of that liquidity out, your initial investment, and participate in other projects that are doing the same kind of SAFU liquidity generating events, and let your money earn for you and cycle and cycle and cycle. Now, this protocol is phenomenal. It's amazing. It's really going to take the FEG token and Smart DeFi projects to another level. And and it all goes back and it feeds into the token amounts. And what is amazing about this system is that everything that we've done when we've built FEG token is it revolves around FEG token and enhancing the market price and the market value of FEG token, the intrinsic value of it. So not only the market value is enhanced, but the intrinsic value of holding FEG token is enhanced because of all the utility that surrounds it. Every platform that we built revolves around moving FEG token and rewarding FEG token as a whole. Now, it's just phenomenal to see. We're really excited to see what it brings to the project, how it generates volume, because you're looking at multiple projects pushing tens of thousands of dollars into FEG token based on the size of their liquidity generating events. I mean, we saw hundreds of BNB being raised in the previous iteration of Smart DeFi, hundreds of BNB being raised for these projects. Imagine 30% of those being put into, $10, $20, $30, $50,000 at a time, being put into FEG token, buying on market, boom, to pair against their token, pumping the project, arbitrage. The volume potential is endless, and it will drive every tokenomic aspect of FEG token. It'll drive the tokenomic structures of the Smart DeFi tokens. It's going to be insane. I cannot wait to see what this protocol brings, and when it's at its when it's running at full steam, it's going to be unlike anything we've seen before, because it is unlike anything we've seen before. And I'll turn it back to you, Moonlight, on that.
Bullish.
Thank you so much for explaining all the details to us. Yeah, definitely we would like to try the LEAP protocol, right? And also pre-sale in Q2. Wow. Thank you so much for all the detailed information. And next we still wanted to talk about security, because we know that Web3 is like a huge black forest, right? So could you please explain the security major taken for Smart DeFi and the surrounding contracts? Thank you.
Oh, absolutely. We talked a lot about this before, how we've gone through ups and downs in the past with Feg Token. We've learned a tremendous amount through various portions of what we've done. FedRox has learned a tremendous amount, and in respects to safety and security, how to build a contract that has limited vulnerability, no vulnerability. And he did that because he learned from previous trial and error. I mean, it's humbling to say that we've experienced exploit in the past, and it's something that has happened to the largest of platforms with numbers of devs and just tremendous amounts of funding and team. We're a voluntary community project where we donate our time and energy to this, and just essentially working for our bags, what we've invested in this project. And so to see what we've done and understand what we've done and build on all of the security measures that we've seen. We've worked with PeckShield. They've been a tremendous help in the past, and it continue to be, as we've done a number of audits with them. We've done a security audits on the Smart DeFi deployer, on our migration tool. PeckShield has done that audit on the FEG and Smart DeFi staking protocol. We've done an audit with them. So they've audited every aspect that's going to be touched by the community. And we made a commitment to the community to make sure that every contract that we see that pushes out, that touches the community or impacts or in any way impacts the community will go through third-party independent audit, at least one. And we've done a secondary one with Smart DeFi that'll be finishing up in this week. So it's going to be a tremendous for us. So what we're looking for is finishing up this audit and moving on to the next platform, right? So we've got security audits for this. That's going to be finalized in a week. As I mentioned earlier, they brought in another auditor, so they had to put a second set of eyes on it, or another set of eyes, more than they typically use for regular contracts. And that's just because of the sheer complexity. And they use the word complex in their description when they stated that it was going to take an extra week. Well, first they asked for 5 days, then they asked for another week on top of the 5 days. So we're going 12 days out. But we appreciate genuinely that thoroughness. As they said, they're going through this again line by line with another set of eyes, because it's so complex, and they want to make sure that they've done a tremendous job on this. And we'll be sharing the information about this audit company when the contract is complete, the audit is complete. And we're really excited to see what exactly comes out of this. And we should mention also that Feg token liquidity has been moved, and you can see that if you go to the Gitbook, you can go to the secure liquidity tab and see that we've moved all of the Feg BSC tokens that are in multi-sig wallets. On all the Feg ETH tokens are in multi-sig wallets, and all of the liquidity tokens are in multi-sig wallets that require 2 of 3 individuals to make a transaction and move that liquidity. And we did this for enhanced safety and security. So we have those for ROX integration, our ROX token integration that we have from a previous token. We have our migration tool, the tokens in one. And we also have future tokens. We have LP tokens and future tokens for burn, centralized exchanges, VC funding, etc., in another multi-sig wallet. And so we're just doing everything we can at this point to make sure that all of the assets that we have and every protocol and platform that we push out is as safe and secure as possible, because we owe it to the community, and we owe it to everybody who's participated and put their time and energy into this project to make sure that nothing goes wrong. And there's never a guarantee in this space, but we're doing our damnedest to make sure that we get as close to it as we can.
Thank you so much for the updates regarding to security. Definitely, yeah, we all know that this is one thing that the FEG, the FEG team, is really, really cautious about. And also another question is, we would like to learn more about the future plans, roadmaps for the FEG token, because we have seen that it's been popular for a while, right? And also it's a kind of like a long-term project we went through already. So what about the next steps for FEG token? Thank you. And question to RTR.
The next steps for us are we complete this secondary audit on Smart DeFi. We have UI development that's ongoing, and we're getting everything smoothed out because we're bringing about public testing of Smart DeFi. It's our goal to make sure that this iteration rolls out and projects roll out as smooth as possible. And we thought also the safety and security measure, and what way to do that by creating a win-win situation where we release testnet Smart DeFi, where projects who are planning to launch can launch their token and practice launching their token and seeing how it works and decide if that's actually how they want to launch their token. So not only are we providing the ability to test in advance, to practice launching your token, we're going to teach you how to do it. We're going to create video content and do community-driven VCs where people can come to the voice chat. We'll show how to launch a token, show how to participate in LGs, show how to do these different things, edit on SDScan, edit your tokenomics, etc. And so we're going to do our best to provide the customer service necessary, even though the UI is so intuitive. I mean, it's always been our goal, and this has been a joke that we have had since we started, and it was so easy your grandma could use it, and we say like everything should be intuitive to the point that anybody can just walk up to it who doesn't have any knowledge of cryptocurrency or Web3 blockchain and be able to create a token in minutes. And when you get good at it, in probably under a minute. So we're going to be taking in and testing. When we do public testing, it also has benefit to us as the FEG project and for Smart DeFi as a whole, because we're going to be utilizing the public to test. And if an issue comes up that we didn't see with our limited number of team members testing, then we can adapt and change that. We can also take feedback on user interface aspects, though we really do believe, and shout out to Nitpicker, who's done a lot of UI work for us, to Dubo's done a lot of UI work for us, to Kas, Fanik, King, Koopa, everybody in the testing groups who's really integrated and given ideas, to Tommy, of course, Feg Tommy the legend. We have to make sure that we have all the guys, Philip, Fegleg, everybody in here who's been doing these UI developments. You guys have been amazing, and they make such an intuitive user interface. And we've done this because we've taken community input since the very beginning, since the first iteration of the Starried moving live action background of FegX in the past in 2021. I mean, we've always been about taking the user and the consumer opinion and integrating that into what we're doing, because nothing is perfect. It can always be improved, and that's our goal here. Outside of that, once we complete these platforms, we're going to be moving on to the next subject matters that we're doing. There are different various platforms. We talked about the peer-to-peer limit order. We talked about the FTW, our peer-to-peer trading platform. It's non-custodial, no smart contract intermediary. It's going to have limit orders, so you can buy or sell as in a large amount, in whole amounts, or in incremental amounts at a certain cost, which is fantastic. We're going to have an aggregator that helps drive volume on our peer-to-peer platform with buying at market price. So it'll route through multiple decentralized exchanges like 1inch, and it'll give you the best market price on several decentralized exchanges to buy at market price different things that you can arbitrage and buy and sell on the peer-to-peer platform. So we're creating so much opportunity for a one-stop shop in cryptocurrency. It's almost ridiculous. And we've done this with 3 years of experience, of time, energy, trial and error. Let our exhaustion and work benefit you by participating in Smart DeFi with your token creation, so that you don't have to go through the cost, the energy, the laughter and the tears that come along with all of the building that we've done over 3 years and the hard lessons that we've learned. Not to mention not to mention all of the tech and the design that is so unique because it comes from the alien tech of Fegrox, our lead developer. He's such a unique developer, one of a kind, which makes our tech one of a kind. And we're really very much excited about it. Outside of that, we are looking at, as I mentioned in the very beginning of this, we're going to be moving to expanding to multiple EVM blockchains. And so that is on our list. And there are some aspects of that I can't get into yet because Rox and I have had multiple discussions about it, and he's still building it. They're partially built, and he's got new things coming. And here we are trying to keep up with him with all the things that are going on in his mind. He's been on a roll lately. As you guys can see, he's in the community, he's on Twitter, he's testing, he's been everywhere. I mean, in Smart DeFi Listings channel. So there is so much coming. We've been on this call now for almost an hour and a half to 2 hours. Oh, nearly 2 hours, and we haven't even covered all of the things that are coming. So it's been a pleasure. Those are the things that we're looking forward towards in the future, and just building and continuing to build relations within our team, within the community, and moving forward and allowing other projects to prosper, which in turn helps Feg Token and our ecosystem prosper, and just creating a decentralized finance space that benefits people and creates a safe and secure way for people to participate without being taken advantage of, with risks of pump and dumps, of pre-sale dumping, and malicious activity from malicious devs. And that's our goal.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing a lot of great plans for the Feg Token. That is just amazing, and lots of goals and great vision for building the project as a long-term project. The community is growing stronger and stronger. And now I would like to direct microphone to Sticha, also talking about marketing strategy to support these next steps that RTI just mentioned. Thank you.
Absolutely. Right. So again, I'm not going to give too much away on the strategy, but this is like the mission statement for Feg Marketing is to support the tech, showcase the tech. We do that by being bold, by being loud. We're gorillas, but by being professional. Like Dubo puts the professional touches on a lot of the things that we do. We focus on growth. And how do we do that? Spawn Tank for recruiting marketeers, the Raid bots, TG bots, Team Task bots, team sessions, and doing strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats analysis. And also, the keyword, maybe in crypto, the keyword on the tech side, it would be security. But in marketing, it's engagement. That's what we live and die by in crypto and decentralized finance and marketing. We plan, we do, we check, and then we review. What gets measured gets done. So the more things to measure, the faster you'll get to where you need to be. So plan, do, check, and review is integral to how we do things in Feg Marketing. And then alignment with the developers, because this is not always an easy task, but it's something that will bear fruit in the long term. And that's so we can have mature and accurate timelines, and then the marketing can line up with the development work rather than being an afterthought. So that's always something that we're striving towards. We've got to carry on being fun. We've got to carry on being, tenacious in everything that we do, and that shows with a 300% rise in price in the last six or 7 weeks. And the trending and all the positive stuff that's going on right now. So on that, I'll kind of leave you on one last thing, and this is a really new and exciting campaign that it's not quite over the line yet, but it's mature enough and solid enough where I can give you just that little bit of juice. And this is going to actually put Feg on top of the world. So I'm not going to say any more than that, but it's really, really cool, and I'm sure that everyone will like it. So that's me done, Moonlight. Thank you very much, and thanks for having us. It's been a wonderful AMA.
Thank you, thank you. Yes, yeah, I've been expecting Lee's MA for a while because I believe we already talked about it last year, and finally this is happening. And of course, we would like to have final word before we end today's AMA session. We promise we have giveaways, right? And also best questions. How about Sticha and RTR? Would you like to select the winners, or would you like to announce the winners list later through research? Thank you.
How do you want to do this, RTR? Do you want to have a quick review, a bit of a mop-up session, and then announce the winners after this event? Or if you want to go on, if you think we've got a good question, then we can go with it. It's up to you, bro.
I'm happy to do a bit of a review and then jump on the questions so we don't drag the recording on too long. We did 2 hours, so I'd like to get the recording out there nicely, and
Good shout. Yeah, agree.
And then we'll go ahead and get those done.
Okay, bro. That sounds perfect. So yeah, Moonlight, we'll do a bit of a wash up. Me and RTR will review the questions that have been asked on the socials, and then we can start announcing the winners of 1 million FEG tokens.
That is a good plan. Yes, I see that we got over 100 messages posted over here. Yeah, comments, and just this one, right? Our Twitter Space post, but we have several posts with more than 100 comments. So yeah, we are going to checking different places, and that would take some time. And thank you so much for your time over here joining us today to answer a lot of questions from our community. Thank you, RTR. Thank you, Sticha, and thank you, our FEG official Twitter handle. Always shout out to the community members who tune in today. And if you miss our live streaming or live AMA, no worries. We have replays available everywhere. Yeah, we have a replays on Binance Live, a replays on X or Twitter, right? That you can listen or you can watch it. Thank you. And I'm not sure what time is it now at your location, but I know for some friends, especially if you live in Asia, right, it's actually 2 a.m. Oh my, I still see we have Chinese friends listening the whole time as well. That's amazing. Thank you. And also shout out to everyone from over the world, no matter where you're at. We wish you a great rest of the day. Good morning, good night. Thank you.